Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veroniki and I missed you so much. I missed the connection with you, but also the process of creating videos. I am so happy to be back. It took me a while, but there we go. So this video is a bit of a life update, but then also some takeaways from the evening with Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is a spiritual teacher and he was at the Royal Albert Hall on Tuesday here in London. So I have a couple of takeaways for you from that evening. So where have you been? You've been asking. I hear you there, I hear you. It just like one thing about me, and my close friends know that about me, but probably the wider social circle, you guys that you follow me for since the beginning, you probably don't know about it, is that when I feel overwhelmed or overworked, or when I feel like I have a lot on my plate, I tend to drop out things. And I focus on the most important because I can't do everything at the same time. So that's my coping mechanism. You know, nobody's perfect. You know, I'm just trying my best. I'm really trying my best. But now it feels like a much better place and time. I am in a much better place in my life, but also it feels like a much better timing to get back into it. So yeah, and I really value your feedback and your ideas, and I want to have a constructive conversation. And obviously the topic, or sort of the theme, it doesn't really change much. It's all about life. It's all about living the best version of ourselves on our terms as well. So how do we do that? There's plenty of ways to do it. Still, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. It's not an easy thing. But a little bit of a life update. So earlier this year, I started working for a company called Freeformers, and I had the best time there. It was a great company, very healthy cultural environment, amazing people that I got to work with, and of course the work itself, working with organizations and helping them with the people part of digital transformation, it has been hugely rewarding, and I've learned a lot, and it has been a great experience. However, last week or the week after, 2 weeks ago, sorry, 2 weeks ago, my contract was terminated because the role that I was hired for essentially is no longer valid for the direction of the company. So I am not working for Freeformers anymore, which was, you know, a pity, but also I always try to see things as an opportunity for growth or a redirection. So life is sort of showing you, or me in this case, when things like that happen, you know, life is trying to show you, and me in this case, that you need to be doing something else essentially. So you know, you know, things that you have, and I think that's something that I need to focus on and do more of. And I think lots of people have that sort of weakness on trying to control things that are outside of your control, and you just take it for what it is and you move on. The quicker you can actually accept what it is, the quicker you can actually move on and get about the business of actually doing what you want to do. So yeah, I'm very excited about what's coming up. I'm very excited about the next steps, which are not completely crystal clear yet, but we'll get there. Now, in the meantime, I went to an evening with Eckhart Tolle on Tuesday at the Royal Albert Hall. And Eckhart Tolle, for those of you that you have following Oprah Winfrey, he has been on the show for many times, many years. He has written the book The Power of Now, and also the New Earth. So 2 books. He's an author of 2 books, and those books have been, you know, bestsellers and worldwide success. And he's a spiritual teacher and an amazing human being. He was, like, first of all, the Royal Albert Hall was full, completely full on Tuesday, packed, and he was there with no notes, just himself. It was quite impressive actually. And he started by saying, well, some of you, you're here because you wanted to be. That means that you're on the process of awakening. And some of you, you were dragged here because of your friend, because of your spouse or whatever. And if that's the case, you might find this quite boring, so you can leave anytime. So it was quite funny as well. But yeah, it was quite an incredible experience, because he talked a lot about the egoic state that most of us live in. That's the normal. And that's when we identify with our thoughts. So we always look for something to feel better. We always search outside of ourselves to find things, to find meaning, or we say, if we get that, I'll feel better. Or when I get to this stage, I am going to be happy. Or when I do this. So all of these things are external things that essentially is your mind having power over you, because you identify with your thoughts. So because you identify with your thoughts, you tend to find meanings on things outside of yourself. And when we identify with our thoughts, we are not centered. We are the slave of our mind. And it's not healthy. That's when, because we carry, like human beings carry so many baggage and pain and traumas and all of that stuff. So if we identify with our thought process, it's just not a healthy state of being, and it's just very uneasy. We feel uneasy and unhappy when we identify with that state. So what he was talking about is how can you, and what we do when we're in that state, we try to free ourselves from our mind, from our thoughts, from who we are, from the past, who we have been, or the mistakes we've done in the past, or the future. So we're never in the present moment, because we're either thinking about the past or the future. So how can you free yourself from all of that thought process and all of that problems that we have in our head? Lots of people crave for drugs or alcohol or, these kind of things that would numb your mind for a bit. And that's when for a minute you feel like a bit more relaxed. You feel like you disconnected from your thoughts or from your problems. So if thinking is here, taking drugs or alcohol is down here. So you downgrade your state just to feel a little bit better for a short period of time. Now, how do we get above thinking? So according to Eckhart Tolle, he said that by being, because we're human beings, right? We're not human thinkings. It's so funny. So human beings, so we have a life force, an essence within our body. And when we drop our thought process, we just drop it and we connect to our body and the life force and essence within our body. And there are lots of ways to do that, is by focusing on the space between the words that I'm talking, for example, right now. That's when you connect with your essence, or when you're focusing on the space around you rather than the people, the actual objects around you, but the space, because that is essentially the energetic field, right, that we're all part of. So by focusing on those things, you then feeling your body, you're transcending into a different reality, which is the most authentic, the most real you, because you disassociate with your past or the future or the whole perception and all of the things and thoughts that you have in your mind. And you're just being, you just are, because we are living things, right? We're living beings. We're alive, essentially. It was incredible, and I'm not sure if I actually give it justice the way I described it. That is the way I understand it. And of course, we did a couple of meditations during the evening, the whole evening with him, and I felt so much better, so much lighter. And you truly connect with the life force inside you rather than with the thought process in your head that can go insane sometimes, right? We've all been there. So yeah, and I would try to practice that a little bit more every day. I would try my best. Yeah, so it's, you know, the more you do it, the more fluent you become, and you can always go back into that space when you feel overwhelmed, or when you feel like it's getting too much in your head, and connect with your body, with your essence and your life force inside of you, and find truth again and peace. So yeah, I hope you found this video interesting and insightful. I was thinking to do a live on Facebook or Instagram, or maybe both. Let me know what you think about that. Would you be interested in having a conversation about, for example, topics like that on a live, on Facebook Live or Facebook Instagram, so we can have an exchange of ideas and we can sort of deeper and find out more. And I'm really curious to see what are your thoughts, guys, and what you think about those areas that are a little bit more, yeah, spiritual. All right, love you all. Until next time.